Dear students, today's session we will be seeing about the different types of shares and the division of the share capital. Types of shares. What is share? The total capital of the company is divided into small units. For example, this is the capital of a company. Imagine that this is the capital of a company. The capital of a company is divided into small units. Each fractional part of the capital is called as what? Shares. Small part, a fractional unit of the total capital is called as shares. What are the two types of shares? Preference and equity. Preference shares, preference and equity shares. Preference. From the word preference, you understand that something priority is given, top priority is given for something. That is why it is called as preference shares. So, if you buy a preference share, these preference shares will be given a preference in two cases. One is at the time of calculating dividend, the other one is at the time of winding up. A preference shareholder has to be paid first. When you declare the dividend, who has to be paid first? The preference shareholder will be given preference at the time of declaration of dividend. Then same thing at the time of winding up, that is the closing of the company. When the company is being closed, that time also the preference shareholder only will be paid first. So, in two cases they will be having preference. That is why it is called as preference shareholder. Preference shares at the time of dividend, at the time of winding up, they will be paid first. Now, these preference shares, they have only a fixed amount of dividend. Every year they have a fixed amount of dividend. There will not be any changes in the dividend. Now, what is this equity shares? Equity shares are otherwise called as ordinary shares. Equity shares or ordinary shares. Their rate of dividend is not fixed. It depends upon the profit. It keep on changing, goes on changing. Equity shareholder will be paid only after the preference. The dividend will be declared first for the preference shareholder, then only for the equity shareholder. Same way, at the time of winding up, preference share will be given first preference, then only the equity shareholder. But the only difference between preference and equity is that here the rate of dividend is fixed, here the rate of dividend is not fixed. What is dividend? The total profit of the company. Profit. What is dividend? Profit. The total profit of the company is divided and given to each shareholder according to the number of shares what they have purchased. That is why it is called as dividend. Dividend is otherwise profit for the company. That profit is divided and given for all the shareholders according to the number of shares what they have purchased. Next, we will be seeing about the different divisions of share capital. Divisions of share capital. The first one is authorized capital or nominal capital. So, what is the meaning of this authorized capital or nominal capital? This is the maximum amount of capital what the company can collect from his shareholders, and this will be mentioned in the memorandum. What is memorandum? It is a very important document of any company. It contains all the rules and regulations of the company. So, So, the maximum amount, suppose 1 lakh, 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 1 lak is mentioned in the memorandum means the company can collect only 1 lakh, up to 1 lakh only they can collect from the public in the form of issuing in the form of shares. Understood? Authorized capital or nominal capital is the maximum amount of capital which the company can take from its shareholders, and it will be mentioned in the memorandum. You want to make any alteration or any changes in the authorized capital means, then it has to be changed in the memorandum. For that, a special resolution has to be passed. Ordinary resolution, if you pass, means that cannot be changed. So, alteration in the capital or any changes in the memorandum can be done only after passing a special resolution. Okay. Next is, suppose your authorized capital is rupees 10,000. In that, 9,000 is issued to the public. That is called as what? Issued capital. Whatever amount of the authorized capital is issued to the public is called as what? Issued capital. Here in this example, 9,000 rupees is the issued capital. Out of this 9,000 rupees, for example, 8,000 has been subscribed by the shareholder. That is called as what? Subscribed capital. The amount which is subscribed by the shareholder is called as what? Subscribed capital. Next is the called up. Out of the 8,000 rupees subscribed by the public, the company may call 7,000 rupees. These are just an examples I am giving. The amount what is called up by the company, it is called as what? Called up capital. Out of the 7,000 called up, the shareholder may pay rupees 6,000. So, that is called as paid up capital. Last is the reserve capital. What is this reserve capital? It's a very important, it is often asked in the theory part, what is reserve capital? Now you will see in this example, 6,000 rupees is paid up by the shareholders. Out of these 6,000 rupees, the company may take and keep rupees 1,000. Just an example I am giving, rupees 1,000, they may keep it as a reserve capital. For what? To use it at the time of winding up. This will be called only at the time of winding up. A portion of the paid up capital taken and kept as a reserve by the company is called as what? Reserve capital. So, these are the different divisions of share capital. I will repeat once again. First one is the authorized capital. This is the maximum amount of capital what we can collect from the public. It will be mentioned in the memorandum. It cannot be altered very easily. If you want to make any alterations, you have to pass a special resolution. Example I have given, rupees 10,000. Out of these 10,000, if only 9,000 rupees is amount of shares is issued to the public, that is called as issued capital, and whatever is issued out of that, what the public is subscribing, that is called as subscribed capital, and the amount what the public has subscribed, out of that what is called up by the company is called as called up capital, and when the company is making the call and the amount what is paid by the shareholder, it is called as paid up capital, and one part of the paid up capital, if it is taken and kept as a reserve to use at the time of winding up, it is called as what? Reserve capital. Hope you understood, children. These are the different divisions of share capital. Thank you.